Hi, I'm Shane with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the adapters for the Tabless Demco Base Plate. These are going to give us our solid connection point between our tow bar and our base plate so we can safely flat tow our vehicle. The reason we need these adapters is because the tabs that come with this base plate will not work with the older style tow bars like our blue locks we have here. Now, before installing these on the base plate, you're going to have a sleeve inside that needs to be removed. It's going to be easier if you remove the fascia first because you're going to have two nuts and two bolts that are holding those in place. With our Demco base plate, these are the tabs that are going to come with it. These are going to connect to your tow bar, and to use them, you just slide them in. You're going to have a hole on each side. You're going to line up this hole. You slide them in, twist them, then you put a pin in. To remove them out like that, fold your tow bar up. Now, to install these tabs on your newer tow bars, you would take this bolt out. This will go on and bolt right in place of it. The problem is our customer has an older blue locks tow bar. These tabs will not work. The new adapters is going to allow us to use our older blue locks tow bar with our Demco base plate.
Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. We need to start by removing our fascia. We're going to have 4 plastic fasteners and 2 10mm head bolts we need to remove. Our 4 plastic pin fasteners are run right across this front plastic piece, and then our 2 bolts are right here. And these are just plastic, so you don't have to put any pressure on them. Just want to make sure you get this bottom part out too. Once you have the center out like this, it's easy if you just pull up like this, and it'll come out just like that. In each wheel well, we're going to have 3 5.5mm head bolts we need to remove. Now, your instructions are going to tell you 3 push pin fasteners you're going to have to remove from underneath the vehicle, which are going to be these 3 here. But actually, you're going to have 1 on each side for your mud flap, where your front fascia actually hooks into your mud flap. You're going to have to remove 1 of those on each side too, so technically you're going to have 5. So we'll remove 3 of these. You just do it with a flathead screwdriver. You can get the center pried out there. Take a trim panel tool. Pull out the base, just like that. And this one here, on the very lower front part of your fender liner, or in front of your tire. Again, you'll have 1 of these on each side. And we're going to have a couple of 5.5mm head bolts on each side we need to remove. First, we're going to remove this one. And this one. Just like that. And you're going to remove those same 2 on the other side of the vehicle. We need to unhook our fog lights. If you're equipped, this black plug here, we're just going to push it on this back side. Right there. You're just going to push in and pull out. And you're going to do that same thing on the other side. With an extra set of hands, we're going to remove our fascia. We're going to start on the very outside of our fender, where our fender meets our front fascia, and we're going to start to pull out, work our way to the center. And remember, when pulling this off, don't just pull it off, because if there's any additional wiring or anything in there that needs to be unplugged, you don't want to mess up the plugs. Once you get it off, you're just going to set it aside in a safe place for now. Next thing we need to do is we need to remove this inner sleeve. We're going to have 2 bolts and 2 nuts to remove. We'll use a 19mm socket and wrench to remove this. Then we're going to be reusing the bolts that we take out. Pull out this sleeve, we'll put it on our newer adapter. I'm going to make sure that your slots are not facing this way, they're facing this way, side to side. The kit's going to come with new nuts, bolt head on the inside, our bolts, center bolts through, and our new nuts are going to be on the outside. Now, if you notice, our nut is inside here. These bolts have to be torqued down. Typically, you want to torque down the nut side of the bolt, but you can see here, we're not going to be able to get a socket on there. So we're going to have to torque it down from the head side, and we're going to have to do this before we put the lower one in.
So if you get a pair of pliers, channel locks like I've got here, and you get that on that nut to hold that nut and keep it from spinning. Then we're going to torque them to the specifications and the instructions. Just like that. Then you're going to repeat that same process for the other side. Once you've installed your hardware, you've got them tightened and torqued to the specifications and the instructions, you can reinstall your fascia in reverse order from the way you took it off. That's going to complete our look at the adapters for Demco's Tabless Base Plate.